Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm called the Big Game Hunter because I've been hunting down leaders and staff organizations for more than 40 years. Today I want to talk with you about one of those tough interview questions that invariably trips people up. Now I want to set a context for it. Whenever you're on an interview and they're going to ask you the question, so tell me about your strengths. You can be very sure that the next question or the question after that is going to be, so tell me about your weaknesses. And you might as well be prepared for an answer that copes with that. Now, with regard to your strengths, you really should have 2 or 3 things that you're able to say without appearing like you're acting. Because, again, to me, interviewing has a certain amount of theater to it, and you have to have a certain amount of acting skill in order to do well. So you talk about your determination, you talk about how you care about your work, that you work well with others, you facilitate change, whatever it is you happen to be good at, that's what you'll talk about. So when they ask you that question, tell me about your weaknesses. What I'd like you to do is very simply say, there was a time in my career where I really spent a lot of time and effort fixating on my flaws. When I made a mistake, I really beat myself up. I would read books. I'd try to get better. I'd ask for advice. I'd sit in meetings, try to learn from people who are more experienced than I in that area. But what I really learned over the course of time is that there were certain things I would not be particularly good at. So, for example, in my case, I can't develop an app. I find it difficult to learn how to code. I just don't have that kind of mindset. But what I've really learned to do is focus on what my strengths are and play to my strengths, because trying to cope with my weaknesses, well, there's always someone who's going to be better at those areas than I am. But if I play to my strengths, no one's going to really be better than me at those areas. So notice what I've done. I've reframed the question of weaknesses to say, I used to spend a lot of time worrying about them, but what I learned over the course of time is to really work with my strengths. So you've indirectly answered it by talking, in my case, about I can't learn how to code to develop an app. Okay, it's a throwaway answer. You'll figure out your version of a dumb weakness to give away in the course of the conversation. But then you turn it into, but what I learned over the course of time was to fixate on what my strengths are and to really work with my strengths, because there I'm exceptional. No one is better than me in these areas. Whereas if I become tolerable at my weaknesses, there are plenty of people better than me in those areas. So what's the point? So this is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I hope you liked today's video. If you did, come over to my website, jeffaltman.com. That's JEFFALTMAN.com, where you can watch other videos that I've done. You can also sign up for a complimentary subscription to my e-zine, which is called No BS Job Search Advice. I publish it on Tuesdays with advice for job hunters. It's good anywhere in the world. You can read some of the articles I've written for the e-zine while you're at my site. You can also listen to podcasts of my radio show, which is called No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I broadcast it on Mondays with advice for job hunters. It comes on the air Mondays at 9 a.m. Eastern on Blog Talk Radio. That's where you can listen to it live. Or you can come back to the site later in the day where I'll have the podcast posted. While you're at my site, you can also post your resume to more than 50 other sites that'll help you with your job search. They're easy to work with career builder links on the homepage in the right-hand column. There's access to Job Search Universe on the homepage, and Indeed in the links page. Indeed's in the right-hand column. Job Search Universe is on the bottom of the homepage. Both of those sites search thousands of other sites for job leads, so that you don't really have to waste time looking for all those places. There's information about my books and guides to job hunting. There are other people's books and guides to job search that are also available there. There's a lot of good information at jeffaltman.com that'll help you. By the way, what you can also do is send me a connection request. Now, if you're a third-party recruiter, I don't accept third-party recruiter connection requests. I don't help my competition. But if you're a person who works in industry or in consulting or in some field, not recruiting, I'll accept a connection request. Send it to me at the LinkedIn.com/IN/the big game hunter. It'd be great if you mentioned that you learned about this through my videos. And if you're at YouTube watching this video and you liked it, click the like button that's below it, or post a comment that suggests that you liked it. This is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you like today's video. Take care.